Okay, hello guys. Now I would like to present about the principle of the drone flight. Okay, so basically, the principle of the drone flight is divided into four parts only. Okay, which is the hover, the forward and the backward pitch, roll, and also yaw. Right. So now I'm gonna talk about the drone motion first. Okay, so the basic movement of the drone are very simple one actually. So which are the move up and down, left and right, forward and backward. That's all. Okay. So on the other hand, the motion of the drones are completed with roll, pitch, and yaw. Okay. So for your information, the drones use rotors for propulsion and control, right? As we know that all the forces come in pairs. If we apply a force, then there must be another force which come in opposite direction so that all the system will be balanced, right? So it means that when the rotor push down on the A will push out on the motor, right? Very simple one, this concept, okay? Right. So now let us talk about the first principle of the drone flight, which is hover. To hover, the net thrust of the four rotors that pushing the drone out must be equal to the gravitational force pulling it down. Okay? So when the thrust of the drone is equals to the gravitational force, the thrust is maintained to oppose the gravity force, and the drone action, it will be like just staying in the air only because it is in balance already. Okay, so when we want to make it up, right? So we can just increase the thrust of the rotors. When you increase the thrust of the rotors, the force produced by the thrust will be greater than the gravitation force. Then the force system will become unbalanced. Since the thrust is greater, the force of the thrust is greater, then it will make the drone to fly upward, to lift upward. Okay, just a very easy concept, right? Okay, so now let us proceed to the following principle, which is the forward and the backward pitch, right? So what is the difference between moving forward or moving backward for the drone? Is there any difference? No, there's no difference actually, because the drone is symmetrical, right? It is the same for side to side motion. The same one. It is the same actually. Okay. So basically, a quadcopter drone is like a car, which every side is the front, right? In order to fly forward, I just need a forward component of the thrust from the rotors, right? So we can try to change the propeller speed of the drone either at the front or at the back. Depends on if you want to make it move forward, you can try to reduce the propeller speed at the front and increase the propeller speed at the back. So the force will become, the net force will become unbalanced, and the force provided backward is greater, and it will make the drum to move forward and vice versa. Okay, all right. So now a slight increase in the thrust for all the rotors will produce a net thrust force that has a component to balance the weight along with a forward motion component. Okay, now let us proceed. We're going to talk about rolling, which is a drum movement from left to the right. Basically, the concept is the same as pitching, right? If you want to make a pitch to the right, I will need a corresponding component of thrust from the rotors. All of this can be done by just changing the propeller speed either at the left or at the right. Thus, pitch to the right will be done by reduce the propeller speed at the right side and increase the propeller speed at the left side of the drum and vice versa. Right? Very easy concept. This is the same actually. Okay, next we go to the last part of the principle, which is yaw. In a more simple word, turning, just turning only. Okay, it is a rotation of the drum at one point only, either clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. All right, so let's say you have a hovering drum pointed north and you want to rotate it to facing west. So how do you accomplish by changing the power of the four rotors? All of this can be done by just changing the propeller speed diagonally. All right, diagonally. So for example, you can decrease the spin of the rotor at the front right and back left and increase the spin of the rotor at the front left and back right. All right, diagonally. Yeah. Okay, so it will make the drum to yaw to the right. Okay, so it is because the angular momentum of the rotor still doesn't add up to zero. So thus the body of the drum must be rotated to a certain direction and it will continue to hover as the total force remain equal to the gravitation force. That means that it will be like staying on the air and turning either clockwise or in anti-clockwise direction. All right. Okay. So that's all for me for the principle of the drum flight. So that's all for my part. Thank you guys.